What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we're back with another Genesis Part 2 video for you guys today. And today, guys, we're taking a look at the Genesis variant dinosaurs and the normal dinosaurs and comparing their stats and their damage difference. So, guys, here we have a standard Giga on our left, and on our right, we have an R variant Giga. Now, these guys are both level 1, so we can actually see what their base stats are. Now, these will not change across level 1. If we were to spawn them in at a higher level, they would get different stats because it would allocate certain points into random stats. But you can see here we've got 17k health on the Giga and 20 melee damage. Now if we come into the R variant, you'll see that there's a massive drop in HP. However, the melee damage is still the same. Other than that, all these stats are exactly the same. Now we've got a couple of training dummies here in front of us to test the DPS of each of these dinos, because I do believe that the R variants hit harder than the standard ones. Now, another thing to note is that on official servers, the R variants actually receive 88 levels in comparison to the standard 73 levels that normal dinos receive. So you will also be able to level up your R variant 15 times more than your standard one. Now, you can currently see here that we are hitting for 80 DPS in one bite. So each bite deals 80 damage. Now, that is on the standard Giga. If we were to jump over to the R variant, you can see there that we actually hit a little bit harder. It's saying 84, but we're seeing 83, so it's probably like 83.9 or something like that. So you can see there that already the R variant hits slightly harder than the standard dino. Now guys, what I have done is I have put a bunch of levels into each of the Gigas. So the R variant has a total of 88 levels and it will not go above that. Now we are doing this in single player mode, unfortunately, so I can't really test it on official servers to see the level difference. But from what I've been able to read up on the wiki and everything, normal dinos only level up an extra 73 levels, whereas R variants level up 88 on official servers. So now guys, what we're going to do is we're going to pump all the points into melee damage on both Gigas, and we're going to see the damage differentiates between the both of them. Okay guys, both of them have had all points put into their melee damage, and they come out at a total of 35% melee damage. Now, if we were to attack the training dummy once again, you can see that we are hitting for 140 DPS with the standard variant. Now, if we jump over onto the R variant, in theory, we should be hitting more since our base melee damage was 4 points higher. So you can see that we're hitting for 147 damage, which is a slight increase on top of the standard one. Now, you do have to take into consideration that these guys are only level 1. So if we were to spawn in level 150s, obviously we would get varying results because of the melee damage point allocation that the game puts into them. But essentially, you would see that the R Giga would hit significantly harder than the standard Giga. Now, I've also got a bunch of Thylacoleos as well as some other variants, and they all are the same. The R variants have slightly less health, however, they have slightly more melee damage. So if you're looking for pure DPS, your R variants will be the better source to go for that. Now, over here we also have an X Allo. And from what I've been able to gauge, they hit exactly the same as the R variants. You can see there, 46 damage. If we were to jump off and jump on the R variant, actually slightly less. Slightly less. I tested this earlier and I was pretty sure that they were exactly the same. Oh, that's why. It's the standard allo. I got on the wrong one. So if we jump on the R variant, you can see there 46 DPS. That makes sense. I was like, what's going on here? So if we come into the inventory and stats of the X Allo as well, you can see here 611 health, 125 melee damage. We come into the R Allo, it's exactly the same. They hit exactly the same. They have the same amount of health. The standard allo will have slightly more health, but hit a little less harder. So it's up to you on your paint jobs on what you want to go for here. But the R variants and the X variants are exactly the same. Now, in terms of damage reduction, only wild X variants take reduced damage. If we were to say, for example, let's just bring in a shotgun here or a pistol, you'll see that the R variant and the X variant will take the exact same amount of damage in comparison to the standard one as well. So we're going to just take some saddles off here. So you can see here 630 health on our standard allo. If we fire into it, we hit it for 70 damage. So 70 damage on that one. If we come into these ones, we'll also hit it for 70 damage. So we're looking for 5 540 health on this one. That's what we want to look for. You can see there they take the exact same amount of damage. There is no damage reduction on the R variants or the X variants. They take the exact same amount of damage. So keep that in mind when you are taming them up, because you will only be taming them for the extra melee damage. That is all. Now guys, it's the same situation with the Reaper Kings. You will have less health on your R variant, but more melee damage. Now, another factor as well about the R variant is that it does not have the ability to jump. You cannot jump using your spacebar. It doesn't do anything. You can see here I'm tapping it very furiously and nothing is happening. So they've gotten rid of the jump on the standard R variants. So you will have to use your normal one, but I would recommend using the normal one anyway, especially for the Reaper Kings, because the Reaper Kings are something that you want to be tanky and have more health. So it's definitely recommended to use a normal one over the R one, unless you are into getting some melee damage, in which case I would recommend using, obviously, the R variant. Now, once again, we can consume some mutagen. How much do we need for this big boy? It's not letting us use it on him. We haven't corrupted him yet. No, cannot be used. Okay, it doesn't look like you can use mutagen on the R variant either of the Reaper King. Let's come back over here real quick. Just make sure that the mutagen isn't bugged or anything. Whack it in the thylacoleo here and it should allow us to use it. Yeah, you can see that. Alright, so it looks like you aren't able to mutate the R Reaper King unless I just don't have enough mutagen. But normally you only need, I think, 95 mutagen in order to do so. So I'm not too sure what the issue there is, but it doesn't look like you can mutate the R Reaper Kings with mutagen. Let's just come in here and whack some more mutagen in here. As far as I can tell as well, the mutagen is only affecting the health of the dinos. I've chucked it in a couple of different things, so unless there's some other way to get a different stat, which I'm just completely missing, it's only leveling up their... Okay, the snow owl just got stamina there. It's only leveling up their HP. Let's just try it again in this snow owl. Maybe it is creature specific. That's more likely what the case probably is, that they are actually creature specific. So let's test it out on the R aloe over here. See what happens over here. Okay, so it received health and stamina again here. But on the Giga, we only received HP. So I'm not 100% sure on what the case is with... Actually, no, we did receive stamina, I think, because they have 401, and I'm pretty sure their base stamina is 400. I'm just going to spawn in another Giga real quick, just to make sure that what I'm saying is right. Yes, okay, so the mutagen actually affects their HP and their stamina, and their melee damage. Does it affect all three? Was I just oblivious to this before? It looks like it possibly adds an extra point into all their stats, because we can actually check this by using the creative gun. So if we come over to these standard snow owls, do they have the same amount of points into all their stats? 315, 350, yeah, okay. Yeah, so it looks like pumping the mutagen will provide you with extra melee damage, stamina, and HP, which is essentially all you will really want from mutating your dinos. So these mutations will actually carry over to the offspring as well. So if we were to breed these guys now, their offspring would have the boosted HP, stamina, and melee damage, and then you would get the imprinting on top of that, which would make them even bloody stronger. So that's a pretty awesome thing. You're going to be able to get some pretty damn powerful dinosaurs now. And you can see there that it's definitely worthy of getting it. Does it also boost melee weight? I'm pretty sure I just saw their weight go up as well. Yeah, it does weight as well. So it hits all the main stats. Everything bar food and oxygen, as far as I can tell. Let's just take a look here. We've got a standard one here. So 315, 350. Let's get over here. 150, 2,000. I just want to make sure. 150, 2,000. Yeah, 375, 125. Yeah. So the mutagen actually buffs all their stats. Health, stamina, weight, and melee damage, which is pretty awesome. So I would definitely recommend mutagening your dinos, because then you're going to be able to imprint on them and they'll be even stronger. So Genesis Part 2 is giving way to some of the most strongest dinos that you can get. But guys, this is going to wrap the video up for today. So the main gist of it, our creatures hit harder but have less health. They have the same stats as an X-Allo, and you can use mutagen on all of them to increase their health, stamina, weight, and melee damage, which is pretty incredible. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video today. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe down below for more. But other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.